Hey, welcome back, everybody. So, this is Weaving with Ambrosia, and today we're kind of just discussing saving a failed weave. Now, this is one of the very first things I wove. I did it on my 30-inch flip loom, and this is about 73 inches if you count the hem. And it was supposed to be a table runner, but I made some very simple mistakes. I did not know that one of my cottons was slightly different from the others. So when I wove it, this teal, you see how this edge is just really rough looking, but the other edges are much nicer looking. They're not perfect. Again, this is one of my first weaves, but you could just tell there's a huge inconsistency. There was something about this teal color. The fiber didn't shrink. Like it just did not shrink at all. It was already pre-shrunk. Whereas these other two colors were not. So they shrunk and they tightened up around this green and they look quite nice. That didn't happen where anywhere it was solid green because this weft didn't shrink at all. The only reason it's even kind of stable looking is because the warp itself shrank. So I kind of had to decide, what do I want to do with this? It is a failed table runner. I made it literally is one of my first projects. So nearly 2 years ago, because I've been weaving 2 years as of like April. Uh, so a little over 2 years now. And this just isn't doing it for me. I don't really love it. So I'm kind of thinking, do I want it as a tote or do I want to try to make it as a basket? Because right now, my work area is a nightmare. You can kind of see it. It's just, it's so bad. It's absolutely the worst. And absolutely the worst. So I know I need to do something about it. I don't really know what, but maybe if I made this not even necessarily like a rounded basket, but somewhere between a basket and a tote without a handle, uh, I could actually take some of this stuff and put it in here and feel good about it being safe and not worry about it getting damaged while not necessarily having it all stacked up here, which is just in the way and inconvenient. It does matter like what kind of size cotton and thread you're using. This was a 8-2, which is a fairly thin, and I usually use between 8-2 and 8-4, or a 3-2. So that's kind of the range I'm usually working in. And I think it just made a huge difference as it did not fall apart. Like even this, I'm moving it around. I've cut that off. There's no hem. It's not falling apart. And I've always just been one of those people who's super paranoid that it's just gonna fall apart on me and I'll lose it forever. And I just can't help it. It's who I am. I'm one of those people. I'm paranoid. Like, you know, if you're one of those people, you're one of those people just like me. So we're just gonna go ahead and do somewhere around the 14 inches. Now, this particular cloth is only about 10 inches wide. So I could probably actually make something that's roughly about 14 by 10, and that would actually be a pretty decent size. I always just use one of my pickup sticks in order to help me keep a straight line, and I still don't keep a straight line half the time. I'm so terrible. I'm just like, "Meh, that's mostly straight-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect. What are we worried about? We'll fix it in sewing. We'll sew it crooked and it'll be fine." Uh, or will it create a bubbled look? Because I could always cut this shorter, and this one's always a little is already a little bit shorter. I don't know. Should I cut it to 10? But these two pieces would go nicely together. Then I just have to connect. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. What do you guys normally do with your leftovers? I do different things. So, like your scrap yarn. Just with this last project, I'm still thinking about this. I have to decide. I used all my like bobbins that still had string on them and they just weren't empty. And I just made the fifth one. a hodgepodge of color, and I actually just love it. And all of them are uneven. It's very fun. Sometimes I do stuff like that with it, or I do like I did with this. I just make a random project. Um, huh. What do you guys like to do with your scrap yarn? That's something you should let me know. And also, what do you do with your failed weaves? Which weave was your biggest fail? Like you were just like, everything went wrong. Okay, let me make sure this is still lining up. All right, boom, one line connected. Gorgeous. And okay, oops, I missed a part. Let me go back over that. My basket is done. I used a little bit of Anne's stiffening spray just to get it a little bit firmer. It probably could have used another layer of it because honestly, it's still a little floppy, but I did it twice and my bottle's basically empty. So you can see I didn't do the best stitching job in the world, but as far as a little fiber basket goes, I'm a lot happier with this than I was with it as a table runner. I think it's fun. I think it's going to do the job. I've got all my sofa project fiber in here, so that means like my knitting and crocheting stuff. Uh, and what I'm currently working on. That way I can just grab it from my sofa. I'll probably put it on the floor after this, honestly, because that's generally where I keep stuff. And then whenever I need it, I can just pluck it out and have it right there. So I'm excited about it. I think it worked out. Is it gorgeous? No. Am I happy with it? Yes. So sometimes it doesn't need to be perfect for it to serve what you need. But this has been my attempt at repurposing a failed weave. Let me know which weave you failed on and what you hope to turn it into.